So, with the news of Conor Gallagher on the verge of joining Atletico Madrid here for 33, 34 million pounds, I wanted to browse through the Chelsea transfers since the year 2020. Chelsea have sold a huge amount of talent. Looking back since the 2021 season, hard to say that. This is going to be like my starting 11 of players that I feel that they should have kept, maybe. Maybe. The first one was their goalkeeper, Mendy. Now, they haven't really sold any players in the way of keepers. If it was going back to like the 2019, I could have had Rob Green. But yeah, so Mendy joined in 2021 for 22 million. 20, 21, 22 million. Uh, he was sold 3 years later to the Saudi Pro League for 16 million. Dog barking there. Thanks for off putting me on the video there, buddy. She's going to bark a few more times because she's deaf. And then we move on to the back three. Now, you may disagree with the back three. Two of them were free transfers. This man and this man. So he joined. He joined Real Madrid on a free transfer back in 2022 because of obviously disputes in contracts, same as Christensen. He's only 28, by the way. So much promise for Chelsea. They just never really gave him that chance. Ran down that contract, went off to La Liga to Barcelona. Rudiger went to Madrid. Christensen went to Barcelona. And then the final player on this list is Tamori. Now, out of these players so far, Tamori is a player that I will still sign from today. I wanted him to go to Euro 24 with England. He went for 25 million. He was 23 years old, so, good money for him then. He's only 26 years old. Um, he's such a raw talent out there. I'm gutted he's out in Italy. He should be back in England playing. I feel like someone like West Ham, someone that's like in that top eight, top 10 section, should be going for him and just bringing him back home. Into the midfield, we've got a club legend, Kante. He moved at the age of 32. He's been in the Saudi League for just over a season now. He's apparently on £86 million a year, which is crazy. And he was still playing for France in the Euros that just went. So he's still got it. His legs are clearly not as good as they were, but he's still showing pure passion on the pitch. Um, Lotus Cheek stuttering there. That's a great way to do a video. No editing here. Don't worry, guys. Lack of effort. Perfect. Yeah, he was a Chelsea Youth Academy player. He joined AC Milan again in 2023, teaming up with Tamori for a transfer bargain of just £15 million. Uh, he may not be in a Chelsea starting 11, but he was definitely that kind of like bring onto the sub if you need him. Bit like what's his name? Like McTominay is for United. He comes on and does make a little bit of a difference. We're going to be moving on to Manchester link here. Mason Mount. He left Chelsea in 2023 in a big money transfer move. 55 million with I think it was like a 5 million add-on bonus if he hit certain targets, which at this moment in time I don't think it's going to happen. He's been hit with a ton of injuries in the first season, so unfortunately for him, we haven't seen him show that potential that we saw at Chelsea in a red top. Moving on to the wingers, going from £55 million down to just £3 million, we're going to go for Hudson-Odoi. The Chelsea player left. He was how old was he? Actually, I think he was 23 years old. Da, 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 da. When did he leave? He joined Forest in 23, and wasn't he born in? Yeah, yeah. So he's 23 years old now, going on to 24. So he's only been at Forest for a year, but he joined for just £3 million. Now I don't know why, where he's got like 10 England caps and he's played a good number of times for Chelsea already. I think it's like 97 games or 93 games that he's played, or something like that. What was it? 72 games, but I think there's more because that just shows he's played 126 games for Chelsea, and they sold him for just 3 million. That's crazy. On the other wing, we're going to go back to the expensive side of things. We're going to look at Pulisic. He joined Chelsea for 58 million back in 2019. 4 years later, back in 2023, with this mass change, he joined uh, a few other Chelsea players and moved to AC Milan for just 22 million pounds. He is a American. I think he's the American captain actually, but he's played for America for 71 times, and he is still only 5 years old. So he's definitely going to be hitting that 100 cap for America. He's played in Germany. He's played in England. He's played in Italy. He's doing the rounds. I wouldn't be surprised if PSG go and grab him after this. To be honest, if the money was right, it's PSG that paid 200 mil for him. Then we're going to be moving on to the strikers. And up front, we've got Havertz, which is a player I don't like. I'm not going to lie, I don't like him. I'm not a big fan of him. He's played 139 games for Chelsea and scored 32 goals. Um, he then went on. I think he got 62 mil, and he went to Arsenal for 65 million. So Chelsea somehow managed to make a profit on him, and he's played 51 games and scored 14 goals for Arsenal. So better stats than they were at Chelsea, but still not great stats for a striker. I'm not a big fan of him. 25 years old. I'd probably rather have Pulisic. And then the final striker, we're going to go for Timo Werner, 28-year-old. Chelsea kind of got robbed. He gives me so much like a Torres vibe. Chelsea always trying to get that striker, and it just never works out for them. But they signed him for 47.5 mil. It says, where? Yeah, 47.5 mil release clause was activated on a 5-year contract, and then literally 2 years later, they sent him back for 25.5, and then we're now talking that he's at Tottenham, and Tottenham are on verge of signing him for 8.5 million. So his value has gone from 45 mil 2 years ago to now looking at 8.5 mil. Big drop off. Players that I wanted to include on this starting 11. There's two I'm going to include, maybe three, but there's two I wanted to include. One was this guy, the man that has basically kept England's hopes throughout Euros in as a centre back. He kept them. He was a rock for England in Euros 24. Sold him for just 18 million pounds, I think, or 20 million pounds to Crystal Palace. He's only um, he's only 24 years old, and there's rumours that he's on verge of joining Liverpool, Man United. I think City got linked, but fobbed it off very soon. Anywhere between 60 and 80 million. So if Palace do sell him, they're on verge of making like three times their money. And then the final player I wanted to include on this list was Tammy Abraham. He's only 26 years old. He kind of just missed it. I feel like I should have maybe had him over Timo. But he joined Roma for 34 million pounds, and there's a buyback clause of 68 mil, which I can't imagine Chelsea actually paying 68 mil for him. But can only be triggered after players completed 2 seasons with Roma. 68 mil. Uh, which he's been there for that time, so they could activate it now. Um, if I was going pre-date in 2020, I could have included this man, Eden Hazard. He retired at the age of 33, 32, 32. He's now 33, couple months away from hitting 34, so I think that he retired a little bit on the early side of things. 459 games in total, 126 goals, most of them for Chelsea. I feel like he retired way too early. Madrid was a bit of a letdown for him. Imagine if he was back at Chelsea when he left, things would have changed. But yeah, basically, this is what my starting um, 11 looks like. This is what if I was Chelsea and I didn't sell my key players or didn't sell some of my youth players. This is what my team would look like. I think I might be able to apologise for the the black screen there, but so something like this is what I'd be looking at. If you disagree with this, then tell me in the comment section below and tell me which players I've missed out. Um, and how many of these players in this 11 would currently fit in today's starting 11? I know that the formation's a bit weird with the 3-5-2. I don't think I've ever seen Chelsea playing that formation, but there's not many fullbacks that would be included on this list. And if I did so, Mount, Timo, uh, Kante, I don't know, the rotation would have had to change a little bit. But if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Comment in the comment section below. If you want to see this kind of content more often, then tell me. I'm more than happy to do football content. It goes and it comes back, and it goes and it comes back on this channel. Especially when it's transfer window, when there's a lot of talk, or the end of the season, when there's a lot of talk about trophies and who's going to win the league and stuff.